My topic is nuclear power, and I'm going to be talking about radioactive waste affecting our water. So my group's overall topic was nuclear power, and my group mates discussed nuclear power's effect on the workers, its efficiency within reactions, the resources required for nuclear power, and mutagens to the environment from nuclear power. But first, what is nuclear power? It's the use of nuclear reactions that release nuclear energy to generate heat, which is used to produce electricity in a nuclear power plant. And nuclear power is the safer way to generate electricity since no greenhouse gas emissions are being released. However, this is simply not true. The problem is large amounts of radioactive waste are being dumped or discharged into the ocean. And exposure to radioactive waste affects the health of aquatic species, giving them acute radiation poisoning, which is highly dangerous. Nuclear isotopes are moving up the local food chain in the aquatic species, and high levels of radioactive cesium and iodine are being found in small fish from the Fukushima Daiichi nuclear power plant. Now, speaking on that, in 2011, there was a tsunami in Fukushima, Japan, that released tons of radioactive material into the ocean, affecting many aquatic species. An accident like the one in Fukushima, Japan, could spew cancer-causing radioactive waste into our drinking water, contaminating the drinking water for 49 million Americans. The risk of having a nuclear power plant this close to a water supply is highly dangerous and can cause some serious health problems. No one in my group mates is discussing the health of the workers, however, this was very relevant to mention. Ethics is a system of moral principles and is concerned with society and what is good for individuals. Nuclear power is a source of sustainable energy, as it's supposed to be safer since it does not release gas emissions like I mentioned earlier. However, nuclear power generates radioactive waste and damages the environment. The health of the environment and society needs to be the #1 priority, making it crucial that the nuclear industry has their radioactive waste problem under control, which leads us to our short-term solution, which is putting radioactive waste in storage facilities. These radioactive wastes are conditioned and stored in facilities isolated from the environment by specially engineered barriers. And this is like the image located in the corner of the PowerPoint. This is a storage facility in Texas that you can see is completely isolated from the environment. High-level waste is first deposited in temporary storage facilities under strict safety conditions for several decades. And this, for a large period, allows our aquatic species and ocean to not be exposed to the waste. Now this leads us to our long-term solution, which is deep geological disposal. This is placing radioactive waste deep underground in a stable geological setting such as granite, clay, tuff, and salt formations. This ensures that the radioactive waste will remain undisturbed for a few thousands of years, allowing their radioactivity to decline to the point where it no longer represents a danger to the environment. And allowing this waste to be contained for a long time keeps the waste away from the ocean and aquatic species. And in this image, kind of gives you a perspective of the surface and where the waste would be geologically disposed deep underground. The environment. The radioactive waste problem will be less of a threat to the ocean, aquatic species, and people, and storing the waste till later than geologically dispose it keeps it contained and isolated from the environment. Geologically disposing the waste allows the waste radiation levels to decay over time, which makes the waste unharmful. And this prevents the chances of radioactive material to be released if an accident were to occur. So when I mentioned earlier about the Fukushima nuclear power plant accident, a lot of material was released from that tsunami. So if that material was geologically disposed, that wouldn't even allow the material to be released if an accident were to occur. Steps we have taken locally in the USA, a deep geological waste repository is already in operation, and the Department of Energy is planning to use the Yucca Mountain in Nevada to geologically dispose nuclear waste in the United States. And the Yucca Mountain was selected because of its best technical and scientific characteristics, as well as its location, which is in the desert, which is perfect because it's completely isolated. And in one of the images is the United States, and it shows how many storage and geological disposal sites there are. There are already 80 nuclear waste storage sites in the United States, and the other image is the Yucca Mountain. Steps we've taken globally, geological disposal has been the option to radioactive waste management in several countries, including Argentina, Australia, Canada, France, and many other countries. And Finland has an underground repository at Olkiluoto for low-level and intermediate-level waste and has been in operation since 1992. Japan, as well, has a low-level disposal center at Rakashomura, operated in Japan by Japan Nuclear Fuel Limited. And as you can see, many states and countries have been storing and geologically disposing the waste, proving how well-rounded the solution is. And by doing the solutions, we are keeping safe our environment, our aquatic species, and our oceans. And these are my sources.